Okay, so today's topic we're going to cover, are you scared of being happy? I kind of was playing around with this a little bit in my head, but the concept kind of came from my daughter. So she used to do this thing when she was going swimming out by the pool, where she'd stand on the edge. This was really before she could swim, and she would want to jump into the pool, but she was scared, she was scared to go all the way in because she didn't know how to swim. But if I was standing there almost as like a safety net, she was fine jumping to me. But that's kind of where I taught her how to swim, is I would just stop catching her and kind of make her swim back. I think kind of in life we do that a lot. If we don't have a safety net, or we don't have something that makes us feel comfortable with the situation, that we kind of get scared to jump fully into something or even do something that we know we want to do, but we get those hesitations because it's not easy, going along with that, now she just jumps in all the time because she knows how to swim. She's comfortable with the situation. She's laughing, That's like one of her favorite things to do, is stand up over on the edge. Now she's trying to do flips and everything, taking it to that next level where you say adding another layer. That's all she's doing with her fun, dude. And I think as we get older, we look at our responsibilities or our tasks and everything, and we stop having fun in life with those kind of things. And it kind of inspired me, you with your real estate thing. Like I see you having fun again, I see when I came into the electrical industry and you were running, like, yeah, a lot of people said you were a hard ass or whatever, but I could see you enjoyed it. I could see you having fun with work. You enjoyed going to work, and I can see that again with your real estate thing now. And that was all just you jumping into that water, doing something that I'm kind of speaking here for you, but you were probably scared to do. That's scary, just jumping into a whole brand new field. You have 25 years worth of experience over here. You've done so much in your life this year, and I've known you for 6 years, and I'd say you're probably the happiest I've seen you in a long, long time.
I'm definitely freaking scared.
Definitely scared.
Yeah, I mean, I only have enough money to not have to make money for about 6 months, and
you're 1 month in. Right.
Yeah, and it's freaking me out, like, more and more. Like, every day goes by, it freaks me out. I need more houses, need more houses, need more houses. But I think it's interesting because these podcasts actually take what's already on the surface and kind of bring it out into the open. Mm-hmm. And I am like, what if I do become successful? I mean, the thing about it is right now we have so many vehicles in play right now, just not just real estate. There's several things, and I know there's a lot of gurus, not gurus, I guess, business leaders say to focus on stuff. I could never do that. I could never just stay focused on one thing, specialize in one thing, because in my mind, what if this doesn't work here? Mm-hmm. Then I got this potential over here. But then there's also the other concept of burning the boats. You only have the one way out. And technically, I don't have any other ways out right now. And I seriously hope that I never have to get another job, that I never apply for another job. I never have to collect another paycheck from somebody else's company other than my own. Sure. And it's freaking me out for sure. And it's interesting because I ran into a couple in the gym the other day, some friends of mine, and my friend's wife, she had just quit her job working at the post office. She said it was killing her for the last 5 years. She just got to a point where one day she's like, I just can't do this anymore. And he was saying that even though the both of them had made good money, the amount of money that they had together was decent, you know what I mean? But now that she's quit her job, he says that they feel like they have more money now. Mm-hmm. And it's just because they switched and became a little more disciplined with the money that they have. When you have the subject, are you afraid to be happy? There's a lot of teeth to that.
Oh yeah.
Because what if I do hit the big goals that I have? I mean, I've been knocking it out of the park with all the smaller ones. Now I'm trying to figure out how to build a team in the company itself, because I know being Pace called it a solopreneur. Being a solopreneur, I could replace my income, you know what I mean? But I don't know that I'll ever create any kind of serious wealth doing that. I mean, I can land some good deals here and there, but my chances of landing that many deals are not as big as if I had a team. So now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to get a team together. And there's a lot of apprehension with everything. You know, you're like, because it's what you're talking about, the fear of jumping in the water.
Yeah.
Because it's all the fear of the unknown. It's like, okay, so, and then you don't want to have the paralysis by analysis where you overthink everything and just not execute because you found too many problems with it.
Sure.
Me personally, like, this kind of brings me back into focus a little bit on the whole. I'm a big ready, fire, aim guy. I don't know what the fuck I'm shooting at. I don't know what I'm doing at all. I just put it in action and then force myself, like that one song, Learn to Fly on the Way Down. Mm-hmm. Like that's it works for me. It's scary. It's scary for sure, but then once you put the pressure on yourself, you figure it out.
But I mean, even going deeper into that, I mean, we just finished a 6-month, no sugar, no fast food, working out 3 times a week. And I mean, you're like, I think I'm going to go another 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate 2 ice cream sandwiches last night.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
They're all right. It wasn't even... It's never that spectacular.
No, and it's just funny. Like, I think there's a lot of people out there that they might be taking like even a small thing that's going to make you happier, because just starting the 3-day working out 3 times a week, now you're in the gym all the time, and I mean, I'm doing jiu-jitsu again. I took 9 years off of jiu-jitsu. 9 years. One of the things that makes me the most happy in this entire world, as far as what I can do for myself, it's probably the top one, like just a hobby, as far as something I can do for myself, aside from my wife, daughter, and everything like that, family, friends, but just personally, jiu-jitsu is one of those things that makes me the happiest in this world. And took 9 years off for why? I don't know. But I started working out 3 times a week, and now I'm rolling again. I might even compete in November. I don't know. There's a tournament. Very possible that I compete in November. I haven't competed in 9 years. It's crazy.
And I went from going to the gym 3 times a week. Then we implemented the ab bet. 6 weeks in, I had the visible abs that I thought I could never get. Mm-hmm. And I was just doing everything I was supposed to do, restricting my calories, always in the gym. And that's what actually pushed me into the gym, to be in the gym every single day, literally there in the morning and in the afternoon. Like, I feel like I need to be there, except for on Saturday and Sundays. I only go once. But it's like that momentum you start creating, and everything starts slow. Everything is like, it's literally just walking out to your car and opening the door, sitting in the car, and then the next day walk out to your car, sit in the car, turn the key, and drive to the freaking gym. Yeah. The next day is walk out to the car, you know, and we're just using the gym as the analogy. Sure. But there's everything, so many things. Every single person that I talk to, just based off of the mechanism, almost finished with the audiobook right now. Everybody that I talk to, I'm like, dude, there's every single one of us, no matter who you are, no matter what level you're at, whether you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire, whatever. There's something that you're not doing that you're afraid to do, or you just haven't taken the initiative to do.
Because you think you're going to fail.
Because you think you're going to fail. But the biggest thing is we all have that voice
Or
talking us out of everything in the back of our head.
Or you already have failed so many times doing other things, trying different methods, and you've just essentially given up. You tried, what, like 4 years to quit drinking.
Yeah, and I've also tried, I don't even know how many attempts at being an entrepreneur, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is you don't quit. You know, what's a black belt? A white belt that never quit.
Yep.
It's a bad analogy for me to use because I never got past a white belt, but
That's all good.
I have different interests.
Yeah, different goals. But like going back to my daughter jumping into the pool, it's kind of like that. She would only jump in if I was standing there. Now she went to jumping in by herself all the time. Now she's jumping in doing flips and all these things. And it's funny because now if I stand there almost as that safety net, she yells at me. She's like, "Move, Daddy, move!" Like she doesn't want me there to catch her. She doesn't want that safety net. And I think that with our mechanisms and stuff, we're getting to that point where we're just like, we don't even need these safety nets anymore. Like,
It's kind of weird because I say yes and I say no. So on the like the no sugar, no processed fast food portion, I think that going into the next 6 months I need it because literally I was in line at Target yesterday and I'm looking at the whole thing of all the candy, Twix, M&Ms, Skittles, and like all that stuff. It looks good, and I'm like literally catching myself debating buying some of that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And maybe tearing it back in the car. And then what you do is you wind up on a slippery slope, and then you know, over and over and over again. And with a mechanism in place, I don't even glance at it. It's like completely ghosted to me.
Sure.
And that's just the power of having a mechanism in place to control your behavior. As far as like the alcohol goes, we went to was it Kabuki last night, me and my wife, and she drinks. Now she doesn't drink a lot because I always just order her drinks because I want to mess around with her later. But it's just a game. But it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'll just keep ordering her drinks while I get my club soda and lime and my iced tea refilled. You know what I mean? I don't even care about drinking. Like it's like I went from raging freaking alcoholic, couldn't go a single day without drinking, to now I really, honestly, it's not that big of a deal anymore. Even using the second sheet I did for the year, so I got 4.5 months left now, and I could still drink one more time. It's like, my wife's, "Are you going to use that at the end of the year?" And I'm like, I don't even know. It doesn't even register to me. And it seems like it's not, when you have a mechanism in place to control your behavior, it's insane how you take the it's like you're taking the voice in the back of your head telling you can't do something, or the voice in the back of your head trying to talk you into eating certain things, or the voice in the back of your head wanting to buy that 12-pack on the way home. It's I don't even know how to explain it. It's gone.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think people think it needs to be more complicated than that. It's not more complicated than that. Literally, a loss of $500 took me from no sugar, no processed fast food, 3 times a week in the gym, to now I freaking walk around at 11% body fat with abs. Probably right now at 43, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. Mm-hmm. My wife said that when we first met that I look like I do right now, and I found some pictures, and I'm like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
It's not even close. Like, this part of my chest is all popped up. This stuff like leads into this. It's like everything's like this side. The sides are freaking there. Like all the pieces, my legs are bigger, my calves are bigger, like everything about me, because now I go from just being in the gym 3 times a week to now I'm thinking about setting a $10,000 mechanism to compete IFBB men's physique at the end of 2020. So when you start going into a goal like, okay, I'm just going to work out 3 times. So it turned from me just going to the gym 3 times a week to work out. Okay, so you're going to look like you go to the gym 3 times a week to work out.
Sure.
Whereas if you change it to, okay, I want abs, you wind up with freaking abs. You know what I mean? And if you have a deadline on you or you lose $1,000, you're going to get abs, period. You'd be astounded. As far as me putting $10,000 that I'll be able to compete or will compete in IFB, this was a freaky one for me. And I'm probably absolutely going to put it in place to compete men's physique 2020 IFBB. So basically go for a pro card in bodybuilding. Everything that you do to hit that goal, like I don't even need the other things in the middle anymore. Like I wouldn't necessarily need the no sugar, no processed fast food, but those are good little staples to have.
Sure.
But now I'm looking at every detail, like the inside, outside, center, the calves, fucking everything. You're looking at all these little details in order to reach that goal. And this is largely just an analogy, because I'm also debating putting it, this one freaks me out too, putting in a $10,000 mechanism to have a net worth of $1 million by the end of 2020. So now you're looking at all the details. How do I get this piece in here? How do I get this piece in here? What's actually going to inflate my income? And your diligence in every aspect of this just shoots through the freaking roof. Rather than going like arbitrarily, I want to be a millionaire one day. That doesn't have any teeth.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean shit. And like, let's say, for instance, say I fall short and I'm not a millionaire by the end of 2020. Maybe I don't have a net worth. And I'm talking debt versus revenue plus assets. No projections. Like that's another, you can't throw projections on that. Anyways, actual hard net worth. It's not some arbitrary goal in the distance. It's something you cannot not do, because now you're coming back to your whole thing where you're saying, are you afraid to be happy? Because I think a lot of people are. Because if you do have that arbitrary goal of being, say that again?
I guarantee everyone is.
If you have that arbitrary goal of I want to be a millionaire one day, your brain's gonna fight you the whole way. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna synchronize and get you to that effort, get you to that outcome.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. Was we started off with these small little things, and maybe they're not small. They're actually really huge.
I don't think they're small. I think most people would freaking.
But you started off on that edge, wondering if you could even jump into the pool. Now you're doing flips and stuff, aiming for $1 million. If you just came out and you were just like, I just want to be a millionaire, and you didn't do those little steps before, it'd be a lot more difficult than you already did all these little things. You experience success. It's adding another layer, adding another layer, adding another layer. Just the experience of success after success after success is pushing you to that mindset that I could be a millionaire in a year.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I don't have a mechanism in place on it right now. And
Not
guess
right
what's
now.
happening to me right now? All the doubt, the what ifs, the maybe I can't make it happen,
Getting scared.
It is scary.
Absolutely. But it's definitely going to make you happy.
Right. But honestly, I'm pretty confident the way I've seen all these mechanisms work so far, mm-hmm. is I think once I have one in place, all the doubt's gone again. It's been the same with everything else. Everything else I'm afraid to do. I mean, if you're afraid to quit drinking, damn, dude, that was huge, dude. Mm-hmm. I literally would cry in my wife's lap, telling her that I don't think that I could ever quit drinking.
It's scary.
I'd take myself to AA, and that's a weird freaking. I don't even want to get off on the AA thing. Mm-hmm. There's all these people who thought it works for them, yeah. And then I found something that just turned it off. Like, what else? Even religion. What else is there tell me one thing. I challenge anybody, tell me one thing on this planet other than a massive, tragic, life-changing event that'll turn your alcoholism off like a switch from one day to the next. I want to know what that is. I want to know what that is.
Seen it.
Well, I know one thing. And I absolutely 100% freaking anybody challenges this thing, dude. They're gonna go like, "Oh crap, this is the way it is." This is.
What's funny is like, I'm not a huge testament to the no drinking thing because I wasn't drinking a lot in the first place. So a lot of people like see it and like, yeah,
Yeah,
worked
take it or
for you,
leave
so
it. Yeah,
whatever. Cool, worked for you, but you weren't drinking a lot anyways. But like you and Derek and like things like that, people are like, whoa.
yeah. Derek still doesn't drink right now.
He's not going to drink until the end of the year, guarantee it. And that's the ones that are people are like, whoa, like how did he stop drinking like completely? And it was the mechanism. And people don't realize that it was that easy for Derek to quit. It doesn't make sense to them because they're scared to take that step. They're scared to take that little jump.
I was talking to a friend. I get a lot of people, not just from the mechanism element, but just from like people feel I'm a mentor to them to some level. People come to me and he's telling me, he's like, man, I just really need to quit drinking. I really need to quit drinking. And I think he's just largely just airing, venting what he's saying, and I explained to him what I did with the mechanism, and it like goes in one ear and out the other, and he's at the end of the conversation he said that he's going to start going to AA meetings. And I'm just like okay. And I mean, we have another friend right now that he was destroying everything around himself drinking. And he isn't drinking right now. I think he's not drinking right now. And I just tell him, dude, you just need to get a mechanism on it and make it effortless. But it's just like you talk to him, you see and it's like a struggle. It's like a struggle to maintain sobriety. And I was narrating that chapter in the book where I start beating up on the word sobriety because I'd rather call it effectiveness. Like, I've been sober for a year, or I've been sober for 5 years. Doesn't sound as good, empowering as I've been effective for a year, or I've been effective for 5 years. So this whole sobriety mindset needs to go. It's the stupidest thing. It's you set yourself up with a weakness. Your sense of empowerment comes from a term that says you're weak, and you're not. None of us are. If you were to be struggling with anything right now, any decisions you're making, like my friend in the gym, his wife was like, she's like, I'm not sure what to do, and then like you start talking about how you can apply the mechanism, because it's like such a creative thing. It's not, there's no two mechanisms that are alike, or that there is. But there's so many millions and millions of different variations and combinations and how you can make it. Fear against a fear, money against a fear, money against an outcome, money against a behavior change, whether you add an addiction or try to get rid of an addiction. I told her, I was like, the way it would work is like, all you do is you find somebody that you trust, that you can't lie to, and they won't lie to you, and they will hold you accountable. You pick your charity that your money goes to. And then you come up with a goal, like, so she wants to start a business, but she doesn't know what that business is. So tell your counterpart, you have 4 weeks or you lose $500 to St. Jude's, mine, St. Jude, if I don't have 3 business ideas by the end of the month. Then you'll have your 3 business ideas, I assure you, you will. Then, because you'll be hyper focused on it. It's just the way it works. It's freaking funny like that. It's like taking goals to a whole new level. Then push that goals achieved. Then you go, I got another 4 weeks to figure out which one of these is the most lucrative and the one I'm going to use. It's just accomplishments, dude. It's not even like an arbitrary thing where like maybe I'll get there, maybe I'll figure it out. And then you go, now I got 4 weeks to come up with a solid business plan. How am I going to implement? How am I going to start? And then you just keep going from there. Next step, next layer, next layer, next layer, next layer. And then 5 years from now, you don't even recognize yourself.
You go to sleep at night wondering, how am I going to do this? Then you start planning things in your head of how you're going to do it as you're laying down.
Honestly, like right now, I'm feeling a little stuck. I have a couple large deals that are teetering. Honestly, if I get no more deals this year and those 2 deals close, I'm out of debt. That's my first goal hit. But
if those don't close,
if they don't close, I have to have the momentum now. Now I'm trying to create a system, an integrated system where I can scale, so on and so forth. But I'm hawing about it, and that's what the thing is. I always say is to myself and whoever will listen to me. As soon as I'm hawing about a goal, I throw a mechanism on it, and it becomes done. And literally, I need to listen to my own advice right now. I'm 8 mechanisms in, and it's going to be interesting that once the app is out. That's actually the first time I've ever even mentioned it. We will have a mechanism app. We have 2 computer programmers working on it right now, and we will have the app market ready is the goal by the end of this month. But there's no mechanisms on it. This is just a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's
probably not going to be by the end of the month. Anyways.
Oh, I think it'll be ready. Is it going to be exactly what we want?
No.
Probably not.
But I can't wait so I can just start tracking my own mechanisms. Everything's already there. What's that?
We'll be alpha testing it by the end of the month.
But if you want something that's life-changing, if you want something that'll take that fear of being happy away, it just makes you a machine.
It's right there.
It's right there. And you know, the crazy thing is, out of all the things that I've done, from having various companies, day trading, Advocare, another multi-level marketing, I don't even remember what it was. There's been a couple things. I had some 900 numbers. I've had a variance of a few different businesses over time, and I've failed quite a bit. And that's the thing too, is most entrepreneurs fail. The reality is do you get back up and keep going? And I've kept getting back up and keep going, regardless what anybody thought, regardless what anybody said. And now I sit and I look around, and there's a lot of people that are sitting there having their opinions, having their sayings, but what else do they have? Fucking nothing, because they're not doing a damn thing other than going to their job every single day. And it's odd, because you get to a certain point, you no longer listen to the invalid input. I failed over and over and over and over and over as an entrepreneur. Never gave up. And now we're in this thing, this whole mechanism thing that just came to light at the end of the year last year. And every single time I think about it, every single business that I've ever had before, as soon as I start talking about it, as soon as I start trying to convince somebody, it seems like such a pushed sales approach. Now I talk about the mechanism. There's no freaking chinks in the armor, dude. Like there's no, like I almost feel like once I start talking about it, I'm like, you know, I should have told you about this a long time ago. It aligns with your purpose. It aligns with your humanity. It aligns with everything about you. It's that dickhead friend that once you stand at the edge of the cliff to go cliff jumping and you go to turn around because you're not going to do it. It's that dickhead friend that just pushes you off the cliff. And you fall in the water and you fucking scream in happiness the whole way down. It's happiness and fear. But it's so aligned that It's not even a matter of it getting to the point where it makes me wealthy that I'm excited about. What I'm excited about is hearing the stories of people doing things that they never would have even tried to do before until they controlled their behavior with a mechanism. That's the shit that I'm getting excited about. And there's quite a few people that I know of. I mean, there's probably people that have listened to this and are applying it without us even knowing about it. And it's night and day. There's no when you have the conversation with them about it, it's no like they're just like trying to appease the conversation. There's like, holy shit, dude, this is like fucking magic. I want those stories. I want to hear those outcomes. That's what makes it so freaking cool. And even in the real estate world, I'm at the bottom. I'm the student. I'm trying to get to the level of all these different people. And I hope to get there one day. And I hope to be a good investment for the people that have invested their time in me. But at the same time, as you're building something, as you're building a team, you can control all those outcomes, all those deadlines. You can control so much just by implementing mechanisms into it.
Right.
It's not, this isn't just some like arbitrary little freaking off in the ether type of concept. It's so sound. It's so simple.
That's what's awesome is it's not even just dictated to a single individual person. You can do it as a team. It's endless. Really.
It is endless. It applies to everything.
Because your life is endless. There is always going to be something. There's always going to be another step. There's always going to be something more that you want to do. Or something that you wanted to do in your past that you never even got to do. And you've had all this success now and you're like, dude, I could probably do that now. It's never going to end. You can never stop bettering yourself.
It's eye-opening for sure. What I've been able to accomplish since the beginning of this year to now, all strictly with mechanisms, I think that the last 6 months of my life have been more productive likely than the last 5 years of my life. Massively.
Probably pretty close, yeah.
And I'm not anything special. I know that there's people out there that just think that I have this high level. The funny thing is like everybody that I know thinks that I'm going to achieve whatever the hell I want to achieve. Mm-hmm. And then in the back of my mind when they're saying that, I'm like, why the fuck does everybody have so much confidence in me? And I'm sitting here in the back of my mind just tearing myself apart. Like I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can do that. And that's just a testament to the way we all think. You can see anybody and think they totally have all their shit together. And I assure you, they're riddled with freaking self-doubt. What if you could just remove that self-doubt? What if you were running track and you had to get the fastest time possible and you put a mechanism in place, and when you put the mechanism in place, literally what you're doing is you're pulling the hurdles out from in front of you. Now you just run flat out.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna beat everyone.
You're gonna beat everyone, but the only thing is all you gotta beat is yourself.
Yeah.
Which is the hardest competitor you're ever gonna have. Yeah, it's super simple just to outrun somebody and sit there and superficially think that you did fantastic when your life's falling apart in the background.
Have you ever played Mario Kart?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen like the ghost race? So you do like your lap and then it's got a ghost that does the same exact lap and you got to beat the ghost, and that's how you get the next best one. That's what I thought of when you were saying the hurdle thing. It's like you're running against your ghost and he's got to go over all these hurdles and you're just going straight. It's like, oh
yeah, that's an interesting analogy. That's an interesting way to put it.
You know, your old self is still running over all these hurdles and you're just going straight now. And it's eye-opening.
And it doesn't matter what level you are in life. You could be making $30,000 a year right now. This applies to you. You could be making $1 million a year right now. This applies to you. You could be making multi-millions a year, and this applies to you. any single person on the entire planet it applies to.
Absolutely.
There's no debatable reality in anybody's mind that this does not apply to. It's interesting that when I was running, so right now I'm not running any commercials on the book. I'm holding off on all that. So once I have the audiobook in place, it'll be on Audible, iTunes, or whatever. I think all that pretty much by the middle of next month. The recording finishes next week, and we don't even have to edit it, dude. I'm listening to the book. It's interesting because it makes me sound really smart. Like I sound like I can read really crisp, and I'm reading really smart. Anyways, I'm interested, and it's, you know, it's 2 hours. Sit there and listen to it for 2 hours. It'll change your freaking life. The funny thing is like, so I was advertising the book before. Now I'm gonna wait till I have the audiobook, and I'm gonna wait till the app is in place so I can advertise all three of the package all at the same time, so everybody can get all the value. Nothing's expensive. Everything's super, super cheap. And really what we're looking for is we're looking for the outcome in the world, not gaining wealth. The thing that's interesting is, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, the thing that's interesting is out of my advertisements of the book, it's telling people, and I literally was saying on one of them that, hey, I was crying in my wife's lap, trying to quit drinking, go to AA, nothing worked for me, this worked for me, and just kind of breaking down how, whatever. It's people that came out as Christians and started bashing it, saying you just need to turn to God, you just need to turn to God for your answers, so on and so forth. And the funny thing is, I started thinking about it. It was kind of offensive at first because I'm like, why are these Christians attacking me? I grew up Christian. I'm not. I believe we all say the same thing. We're all looking at the same thing. We all believe the same things. We just all have different labels for the same thing. The thing is, I was thinking about it. I was like, what if this whole thing started? What if the whole thing came from God? What if, you know what I mean? I'm not anything special, and we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time that everything's already been done, everything's already been said. All I'm doing at this point in time is probably repeating history, repeating something that's already occurred, repeating something that in the 1920s they were doing this, or Roman days. I don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea. And nothing freaking new here. There's nothing new here. Nothing cutting edge, nothing innovative, nothing, anything like that. It's just controlling your behavior. And why does it have to be counter to religion? You know what I mean? Because you have to have religion to be able to overcome tough things. Now that's just, maybe I'm digging into something else deep here that I probably shouldn't be, but life doesn't have to be that difficult. You don't have to get to those points where you have to have something tragic happen in your life to turn to Jesus Christ and change your life. You don't have to beg for forgiveness and all this and all that. All you have to do is make yourself proud. We all need to be forgiven for whatever it is we needed. We all have little demons. We all have little things. People we may have wronged, all that other stuff. Yes, life is more complicated. The reason I'm even talking about this right now is because I think people listen to it and are like, oh, this stuff's more complicated than that. No, it's not.
No.
It's not. And the reality of it is what makes you powerful is overcoming yourself. What the mechanism helps you do is it laser focuses the details that you need to improve on yourself and makes it a detail that's accomplished.
Yeah.
Then you can look back on your masterpiece and go, man, this is really coming together. So, then you're proud, you're more powerful, you're more alive. And let's say for instance, you're saying that I'm happier this year because of the new thing with the real estate. No, but I mean I guess that would be the perception.
One of the things. Yeah.
I think that I'm happier this year because of all the things I've overcome, one consecutive, right after the other, after the other, after the other. And right now I'm on my way to having 8 massive in my mind, massive accomplishments that I hadn't even accomplished even remotely a fraction of one of those things last year. And here I am sitting on 8, just halfway through the year, a little better than halfway through the year.
And that was my argument on the post. And I saw yesterday, actually, someone said, don't judge someone because they sin differently than you. And I believe on the post I responded with basically like, as a Christian or anyone in general should be celebrating the fact that you saved your marriage, that you did this, that you did that. And that's the thing with the mechanism is like, it's all good things. You're doing a bunch of really good things. And whatever you believe out there, like if you're doing good, that's bringing you closer to wherever you're trying to get, or whatever you believe. That's bringing you closer to that. It's not like any mechanism out there is like, oh, I'm going to do a boatload of cocaine this year. Like we don't have mechanisms on that. You know? Like, it's all good things, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're bettering yourself and you're doing something good for yourself and good for the people around you, I think that's bringing you closer to whatever it is that you need to be, where you need to be. And maybe I know we said we're not going to talk about religion so much, but maybe doing those things is getting you to that place where you need to be for you to be with God, you know?
Oh, yeah. Clear.
There's no clear-cut path. There's no one thing that's like, oh, you have to do this, or there's no one that's at a certain point in their life that
Can
you have
dictate
to
what
do
your
this
path is, yeah.
to get here. Like, it's not that simple. It's not.
What I would say largely is it clears the clutter. Because while you're sitting there right now just doubting yourself of all the things that you're unable to accomplish, there's a lot of noise in your head surrounding that. A lot of fear, a lot of doubt. It's just hanging out there. So like everything that you approach, you try to stay safe and you try to stay in the pocket because you're afraid to step out of your comfort zone because all this fear is keeping you sustained, keeping you just bound. What if you get to the point where like all that stuff starts pulling away? Now the noise is going away and you can receive what the God, the universe, infinite network, whatever, you can receive that more clearly. You're cleaning out the antenna. You're making yourself more receptive to anything and everything there could possibly be, and you're starting to align yourself with your true existence of being a human. Actually tuning yourself up, actually changing the oil, actually putting in good fuel, putting good input in, getting good output, being proud of the outcomes, being proud of your machine.
Yeah.
It's just...
You said you're a mentor to a lot of people. And I would say you've bettered a lot of people's lives just by being able to quit drinking. How many lives have you affected in that?
That's
you should
true.
be celebrating that too. Like,
that's true.
I think that I'm religious. I have strong beliefs and everything, but as far as the church goes, like that's one of the things that I think has been a struggle for me to get past. Is just like you don't put people down to get them to come to you. You know, like it's just. That doesn't make sense to me. Like you should celebrate all the good things. Celebrate all the good things in life. Celebrate everything that's going good. Not, like I said, don't judge someone because they sin differently than you sin. That's just my opinion, but
it's fantastic. What I would say in closing is, if you're afraid to be happy, and honestly, I think we all are to some degree. Figure out what that small goal is. Maybe it's a 2-week goal. Maybe it's a 4-week goal. Like literally, like sitting here thinking right now, I need to, because I have to get my whole business systemized. Meaning I have to this is going to be simple for some people. Some people it might be out there for them. But I have to get my Mojo dialer set up. I already purchased all this stuff. I have to get Podio integrated. I have to get virtual assistants hired, and everything to start actually a cold calling system in my business to be able to get more leads and buy more houses potentially. And I've been hem-hawing about it. Maybe I need to just do like a 4-week mechanism on that I have all that shit functioning, because I have been hem-hawing about it. You know, maybe I should sit here right now and go, what's the date today? The 18th, August 18th. So what? September 18th, I have all of that stuff running. Actually, virtual assistants, cold callers calling for me, running through Podio, running through Mojo Dialer. I could text it to you right now.
text
yeah, I'll text it to you after the thing. But so there it is. So that's just the way you do it. Simple as that. Okay, so I know I need to have something done. I'm hem-hawing about it. I haven't been focused on getting it taken care of. Now I have a deadline of September 18th, or I lose $1,000 to St. Jude if I don't have that system integrated in my business. Do you think that's going to be integrated in my business in a month?
Absolutely.
It might
be today.
Yeah.